The WWF's own online site, said to be the domain of young kids with no clue about wrestling, was besieged with reports about Hart leaving, and the so-called marks were reacting very negatively towards Titan, to the point Titan pulled all of its folders by early afternoon, which caused another outcry of censorship of opinions from wrestling fans. How undemocratic, man.
Well, so I'd love to comment on that. See, because I always am amazed when someone will say, oh my God, look at my Twitter, it's blowing up, and this represents, this is what the audience is saying. And you look at it, it's like you got 900 responses. 900.
Wow.
Let's call it 1,000. In the infancy of the internet, and maybe a couple of hundred people, come on, man. Really? I just think that when you put it all in perspective, that it amazes me just sometimes when people will talk about things blowing up and you actually look at the real numbers and go, oh yeah, there's 100 people commented on this. I'm sorry, I want to talk to the 2 million people that are watching on TV or what have you.
Oh,
so come on.
I don't know how you can have that opinion, man. If you're not working for the internet, and social media, I don't know how you survive.
Well, again, you have to look at all of it, though. You have to look at especially you go back to 1997. They didn't give a shit what the internet had to say. Not everybody really was invested in it. They didn't really live and die by the internet. Your television audience was what you lived and died by. Your live events are what you lived and died by. Business, actual true business metrics that matter, that can be applied to the bottom line, are what mattered then and what matters now. So,
but evidently this online stuff struck a nerve, because apparently Vince responded publicly with an online letter of his own, stating, over the past few days, I have heard certain comments on the internet regarding Bret Hart and his alleged, in quotes, reasons for wanting to pursue other avenues other than World Wrestling Federation to earn his livelihood. I'm not going to read the whole thing word for word, but essentially it implies that Bret's concern has a lot to do with the character, the direction, I think is the word that Vince used a lot, of World Wrestling Federation. Because you guys were, by 1997, you went from, teen and preteen cartoonish type wrestling to a more aggressive, reality-based and sexualized format. It is what it is. It was what it was, and it worked great until it didn't. But it must have bothered Vince enough for him to publish this letter, right?
Yeah, I think that in general it did. And I think in general, because also Bret was also in other, whether it was newspaper articles or what have you, would share this. Well, they've gone a lot edgier, and people showing their asses means Sean Mooning people and things like that. And yes, we had gone a lot edgier. But to use that in a public forum as a reason to go when, well, you said you wanted to stay, but didn't need to be done, is my point.